Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another high-level best of 3. And today we have, holy crap, Clem versus Classic on Mothership, going into a best of 3 as well. Fantastic stuff here to start our beautiful Sunday afternoon with. There's nothing I love more than kickstarting my Sunday afternoon with some Protoss versus Terran action. I often think to myself, how could this Sunday afternoon be improved? And then I boot up my PC. It takes a while. Electricity powered by my bike is a real dodgy. Oh, this is just useless, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Someone like Clem will know the timings of when the first Oracle comes out. There is a legitimate 0% chance that Clem looks at this Oracle and thinks to himself, oh no, an Oracle. Quickly, let me change my entire build order. Like, the only reason he's sending stuff over is because he doesn't want it to stay alive forever. Like, he does not care about this Oracle whatsoever. He's gonna kill it. He's gonna go for a little Cyclone drop here. Meanwhile, Classic will follow this up with a... Ooh, this is 2 Stalker, Sentry, 3-gate Blink. I really do like this build. This is one of these... it's a late Robo. So probably gonna go into 4 gas with this type of setup. I would expect to add extra gases into the mix. I'm not fully expecting a Prism to come out and a potential follow-up here with like Stalker Sentry. I think it would be odd. Meanwhile, Clem actually is going to go for a bit of a push-out. 6 Marines. He has a tank and 2 Marines as well as a Cyclone. This is a very committed push-out. There is a battery here. There's a second battery in the natural as well. All of these in the far back. You're kind of in the same line. So once you get your first siege up, you can, like, if you can hit the pylon and the batteries, I think you would be fine. However, you're probably going to siege up a little bit further away with your first siege up. Let's see how Clem is going to do it. So far, no siege up quite yet. Okay, there we go. Fairly late on that. And we're going to get a bunch of shots off on that tank. As a grenade hit, all of these Stalkers are actually going to end up falling. There's double batteries putting in some serious work here. Don't forget, a battery is the equivalent of 300 shields on a Stalker. And the Stalker has about 160 HP, so that means you just saved 2 Stalkers with that extra battery. Despite that, he's still going to need to use the recharge as well here on the battery to stay alive. So these 2 batteries, he'll right about the equivalent of, well, what should we say, like maybe 4.5 Stalkers or so. And a lot of these Stalkers are still super damaged as well, as another tank is going to end up falling. Medevac goes down as well. Inside of that, I believe there was a Cyclone. Marines going down at a high pace, and don't forget, this was a serious SCV cut in order to make this build work. Barracks are fairly late behind this. Tanks are coming out still, but I think these are not aggressive tanks. They are like, hey, I don't want to die in the next 5 seconds. Please don't kill me, tanks. 1 Stalker is going to end up falling, actually. As a 3rd Nexus already goes down for Classic. Classic is in an almost unlosable position at this point, I think. He's up, what, 14 workers, has a faster 3rd base. His tech is significantly quicker than his opponents. His infrastructure is going to be looking much, much better as well. And I think the only thing that Clem can really do here, except, an actual acts of violence in real life, which, underrated strategy, by the way. When is the last time you guys saw a professional StarCraft 2 tournament? One of them pauses the game and just smashes the other one with a hammer. Probably a cause of controversy. I bet there would be people defending it as well. It really doesn't matter what it is. There's always a subgroup of people that will tell you that in competition everything is allowed. If you actually play to win, Harstem, you'd have also smashed his fingers with a large hammer. Like, well, actually, I do want to win, but I also feel like the integrity of my opponent's hand is kind of important for the longevity of the scene. And I think it's morally bankrupt. But, we can argue about it back and forth and agree to disagree. Is there really a right answer ever? Probably yes. It's probably not smashing the other guy's fingers. Clem is going to go with a Stim Combat Shield push, but without Stimming Combat Shield. It's an interesting way of executing this build. Personally, haven't seen that quite yet. Liberator siege up. Ooh, if we can get the Templar, that would be nice. I think the Templar will just run away. Yeah, little loser. Can't shoot up. Just throw some water balloons here. Double Stalker warp in. Yeah, Clem just... I'm not sure if this is a fake push-out. Because usually if you go for a fake push-out, you then have something else going on. But I mean, he's going to start a third base right now. That's right in vision as well of this observer. Classic gets the read that he needs. It's going to go up to 6 gases. I mean, this is legitimately god-awful here for Clem. Clem is down in supply. Clem is down in tech. Clem is way down in infrastructure. 8 gateways versus 3 barracks. Like, Clem is winning nothing over here. He's going to go for a double drop, but I think they might actually lose him the game. Look at that. He picks up and immediately Classic decides to run in. These drops need to come back. This is not a very large army, by the way. This is actually quite risky here out of Classic. Big aggressive blink forward out of him as well. So a couple of zealots are going to end up falling. Another storm rains down from the sky. The double drop gets sent out instantly again. Clem is really keen. Like he understands almost better than anyone what his position is in a game at any point in time. Like he has such a natural feeling for what needs to be done. And I think he might be right on this as well. Going for a double drop into the main base, I think is a very solid play. Well, it's not a solid play. It's a nice play if you want to get back into a game. As pylons here are taking quite some damage. Probes are being left alone, but 8 SCVs are going to go down on the other side of the map, and that is going to be an issue. As we're going to have a couple more storms, maybe even a blink forward. No, Medivacs do manage to escape, but the zealots inside of Clem's main base are going to be dealing a lot of damage at the same time, though. We are going to get an attack over here on the 3rd, and that's going to cost Classic a couple of workers. Can we get a pickup as well? No. Clem is just going to stay and fight. Stand and deliver. As these mines are going to connect with a couple of units, but 30 SCVs have gone down. There is an Archon here as well that's smacking a refinery. A couple more mules raining down from the sky. 18 SCVs to 61. They still have this drop active as well, though. Both players, look at the actual supplies. 35 army supply to 17. That is surprising. I guess the main problem here is, oh well, that Clem is bumping into an invisible wall right now. And the problem as well of just being outmined a significant number is also a very serious issue. But Clem is going to try again. Has a 3rd base, triple mule. There's no fort, by the way, yet. That almost feels perverse to say. It's like Clem doesn't even have 1 base saturation at the moment. Does have 1500 mineral income though, by the way. For y'all Terrans out there, it is possible. Just completely pull out of gas and use your triple mules, and you're freaking cooking, brother. Okay, here we go once more. I mean, this is just not enough units. Like taking out a single pylon, I just don't think is good enough damage. Like being down 42 workers is significantly more impactful than losing a single pylon. Yeah, at least in my opinion. Once again, we could argue about it. I feel like with this one, I'm a little bit more secure in my own opinion, though. Okay, we're gonna stim in here one more time. I mean, all of these horrific storms. I wouldn't mind seeing some feedback. Yeah, there we go. Feedback's actually very solid here. These mines hit big time as well. It's just that Clem has actually been fighting extremely well. It's just that his early game was so dog water bad that it won't even matter. Like, Clem has taken some freaking miraculous fights. Some actual miraculous fights. Like, on par with the, you know, the splitting of the Red Sea. Actually, splitting the Red Sea, I could see happen. But some of the fights that Clem has taken here, I don't think we'll ever see that recreated. Ooh. Neither will we see the Red Sea split, but, you know, when it comes to unlikely things, I really think what Clem has done here in these fights is more unlikely. It was very high level. Okay, Templar drop's going to go into the natural. It's going to get a couple more SCVs, or at least deal some damage. 2 SCVs go down. Can attack over here on the 3rd. Classic is being extremely aggressive, and he has no reason not to because he's so far ahead. Like, it's almost impossible to make a wrong call right now. It's like, you can literally go anywhere and probably be fine. As he wins game number 1, Clem forced to tap out. You know, one of the worst things there to watch, in my mind, is that you just know that if Clem would have been playing against one of the TOS players that isn't in the top 3, that he would have made that comeback as well. And this was a very, very unlikely comeback to happen. The fact that he almost made the game chaotic enough for Classic to start making some serious errors was pretty wild to me. Like, there's a couple of situations in that game. For example, the first time he sends out the drop. If those units are on the ground to defend the tank, marine, marauder stuff, whatever was there, I think that first fight goes a bit better. The follow-up drop is probably the same. Like that would probably be a pretty big deal. And then also if the storm drop plus the zealots gets just thwarted a tiny bit better in Clem's main base. Although I'm not even sure if that's going to be possible. With the limited resources that he has, I'm not sure if he can actually spare units to deal with that. Like he was all out attacking pretty much as these two probes are just waiting to go into the natural. They're going to do it now. It's going to be Adept into Stalker. Don't actually have... Oh my god, what is this? This is going to be a Marine into Tech Lab. Into a... This is a Cyclone Rush. Oh. And a second barracks. Okay. Into a reactor. Now we're definitely playing something here. I am not entirely sure if I like the build. But I also don't hate it. You know what? I also don't hate the build. They used to play this build quite a bit actually. Maru used to be a huge fan of it. Ryung used to be a huge fan of it. Now we see our boy Clem coming out with it. I think this Adept is toast, isn't it? Yep, there you go. Nice. Put some butter on it, some jam. Got ourselves a breakfast. Oh, I'm getting hungry now. I didn't quite break my fast yet today, as the kids would say. Actually, that is something the kids would most definitely not say. As my great-great-grandmother might have said, if she was English. Probably would have sounded more Dutch when she pronounced it, because she spoke Dutch. Look at this. This is the hero battery. He built it very far forward, so that he has, you know, like battery range up till here. So you kind of can create a layered system, which I like layered systems. Although we saw in the previous game, Classic did fantastic without the layered system. You just had two batteries in the far back, which I think is a lot safer. The problem with this particular battery that I often see is that if you're not in position already, life is going to suck even more than it already does if you're being pushed by a Terran. And usually if you're being pushed by a Terran, life generally sucks already. So it's just something to keep in mind. Like, this is a different approach than most players would use. Like I don't see Clem's off-race do this. I don't see Maxpax do this. I see Hero do this. And now apparently Classic, he also feels the need to put this in. I'm curious as to whether that is build order dependent. Or I don't know what it is. Because another big benefit, I'm just going to keep mentioning this every single time I see this type of battery, is that if you have a battery back here, is that it also heals a portion of your workers in case there's Raven or Banshee harass, which is just going to be great. This is a really tight timing, by the way. How the hell is he hitting so hard? Nexus comes down. It's 8 Stalkers. He went another warp in before the Nexus. Quite controversial. There's nothing in the natural here, by the way. Stim is going to finish up in a couple of seconds. 4 Stalkers are going to go into the main. 4 Stalkers into the net. We go into Templar Archives. Charge. 2 more gateways. So that brings the total up to 5. And look at this. Complete worker cut for a bit. Adding all of those buildings. He went for an almost complete worker cut. And now this is such an awkward game. Such an awkward game. Clem here being quite aggressive. But you want to kill probably at least 1 Marine. So far he's killed 0. That is the lowest amount of Marines he could have killed. Prism in a bit of trouble. Marauder goes down, but so does a Stalker. Not necessarily a good trade. Charge is on the way. Immortal behind it too. Templar Archives has finished at this point. Is in kind of an exposed position. And there's one thing they always tell you. Never expose yourself if you're a Templar Archives. Actually, never expose yourself in general. Unless, of course, it has been asked of you. Unless you're a Templar Archives. If the Terran asks you to expose yourself, don't do it. It is a trick. They're not interested in you. They just want to kill you. Alright, we're gonna have a bit more aggression here coming out. This is a very odd build order, by the way, what Clem played here. This was a 3-Rex starport. Pretty okay Marauder count. No real harass coming out, except for this 8 Marine drop. But this is not what we usually call like the early game harass. We didn't have a Mine drop. We didn't have Banshees. We didn't have Ravens. No Hellion drive-by. No Reaper there to poke the probes. Or throw a grenade at them. Or do both at the same time. Because what's more fun than lobbing grenades at your opponents? Very little, let me tell you. Mine is going to run in over here on the third base right now. It's going to settle himself in nicely. Look at that nesting over there. Beautiful. Yeah, the ground is so nice. Oh, there we go. Manages to hit a couple of zealots. A bunch of stalkers going down as the sentry does get sniped. This was a weird trade. I feel like if the medevac goes down, I'd be kind of okay with this. Yeah, okay, medevac will fall. It's one of these fights where as a Protoss you think that this was good. And then you look at the crap that you lost. And you lost a lot of it. You're gonna get a zealot flank from the north here. This also feels just extremely awkward. Two more mines do get some big shots in. Like, what was this? I guess just a very even resources lost is what it was. And I always feel like this is a trick. Like when Terrans trick you into doing the even resource loss trade before you have a fort going up. I think it generally is bad for Protoss. This is one of my working theories I have right now. Like, if we had this exact same fight and there would be a fort base 35 to 55 seconds in, I would be pretty freaking happy. However, right now, I am not so happy because the income is just gonna start slightly favoring Clem here. His next push is already coming in. Look at it. He's gonna set up shop on your fort base right now, like legitimately where you want to be building that fort. It's gonna be like a bunch of mines. Actually, Clem is planning on attacking. I feel like that is a bit overeager potentially, though. All mines in the exact same location. Actually, single storm is gonna deal with that nowadays. Back in my day, you needed 2 storms for a mine, but ever since the increased duration of the storm, a single storm is just going to do. I much would have preferred him setting up shop over here on the fort base. It would have been a lot scarier, I think, for Classic to deal with. Because you have to expose yourself further. You need to move further out. Then you have potential of getting dropped into the main base as well, which is going to be frustrating. That is a very large Zealot drive-by into the third. It's going to get a couple of SCVs. Prism also moving towards the north is being chased by Marines. Might actually end up falling this time. A storm's coming from the south side. Meanwhile, Zealot's also moving into the natural. Let's go back to the main army that now retreats. It felt like Classic was doing a lot of cool things. But in the end, he just kind of lost 40 supply. And I'm not sure, like he killed 2 SCVs. It's like when someone starts doing like a nunchuck dance in front of you and then knocks themselves out with their last smack. Like, looked pretty cool until, you know, we saw the result of it. Templar still moving forward without Ghost here. Like the zoning power of these Templars is phenomenal, of course. Not a whole lot of range with it, which does make the fighting a little bit awkward. Templar are starting to run out of energy though, and Clem is microing this quite well. Ooh, another decent storm hits actually. One more storm. How many storms do we have? Like 12. Zealots are now moving into the storms. I feel like Classic is being a bit over-eager here. Because he's going to lose absolutely everything. He's going to go for another Zealot warp in. Talking about not knowing when to stop. He definitely does not know when to stop. As these Zealots are going to go down. One more Viking is going to fall, but... oh no. Like, there's not even a single Colossus out yet. The Clem probably regrets building those Vikings. They're like, oh, I thought you'd have Colossus. But you're too slow. Nah, that's not nice. Clem would never say that. It's a messed up thing to say. Calling someone slow. Observer is out here with some nice spotting. Second observer is out as well. Look at that. He has his eye on this orange marine. Come here. I have a surprise for you. Follow me. And bam, you smack him with the zealots. Freaking marines, man. Hate those guys. Alright. Stalker's moving forward. Marauder. Oh! I thought the Marauder got sniped, but he just got sucked into the medevac. Floop. And he's gone. Now he's being healed back up. Love to see it. He survived. But being a unit in Clem's army, you must feel very aloft. Like you hear the stories about playing for Harstem's off-race. God, my brother got drafted for Harstem's platoon. It's like, oh no. Might as well be dead. And then they do die. Walk into a storm. A couple of Colossus. Just a Zealot. The scouting marine. God knows I love those. With Clem, you're safe, man. He picks him up. Freaking picks you up. Never let you down. If Vikings are coming out, we're going to go up to 8 barracks. Feels like Clem is doing this kind of in a conservative approach. doesn't want to give away the lead that he has. But a good way to give away a lead that you have is by not using it. As they always say, use it or lose it. And that actually is the same in StarCraft 2, because he just had a beautiful little upgrade lead for a while. He had 2-2 upgrades against just +1. Now it's going to be 2-2 versus 1-1, and soon it's going to be 2-2 versus 2-2. And at some point it's going to be 3-3 versus 2-2. But it feels like there was an opportunity there where Clem was up 30 supply and up 3 upgrades to maybe deal some damage. Clem disagreed with the notion and decided to stay home and do nothing instead. Which also, you know, my favorite way to spend time as well. But personally, I wouldn't have minded a bit of an attack. We're going to get a 5th base up here, a sensor tower. This is also the kind of the Terran mindset nowadays, is that it feels like they're way too comfortable. You know, really like a fish in the water. That is how comfortable they are in the TVP late game. Like, they got a couple of ghosts out, man. They're freaking flying. They are absolutely flying. Okay, that storm is not gonna hit because well, simply there's no energy anymore. Templar also gets taken out here. A couple of EMPs coming down. Vikings very far in the back. Almost awkward with how far back they are. So storm is not gonna hit. Ooh, we still have 4 Templar in the far back. The Vikings are microing well. Stim hasn't been activated yet. Here comes the EMP. Well, here comes an EMP. Okay, single storm remaining. This is all there's left. That's it. And Classic knows that the party has ended. Let's see if he's wise enough to run away before Papa and Mama come home. Oh, there we go. A couple of Colossus taking the brunt of the damage there. There's 3, or sorry, Colossus, a couple of Ghosts. 3 Ghosts going down. We get the Stalker turnaround. It's going to be 2 Vikings going down. No, the greatest control really out of Classic. He's trying to run away right now. Lose a couple of Templar in the retreat as well. It's just going to be 4 base versus 4 base. This really felt like an all-out, all-in attack. And it didn't work. Usually when your all-in attacks don't work, it means you're going to be struggling soon. And I am feeling that big time here. 5th CC is already moving over. We have a major drop towards the south side, so that 5th is going to get cancelled. It's going to be 5 base against 4 in the favor of the Terran. Like, good luck with that. Resource lost already heavily favoring Clem in this game, and that's just going to continue. That is just going to continue as the 4 medevacs hit the main base. Oh. Second army is going to pull back. This drop is still being active, and actually Classic is going to just jump on his opponent here. It is interesting, but I don't think possible. We're going to need something happening here. I just don't know what. Yeah, recall, I guess, is as good as anything you could do. Clem's going to stay and fight, which debatable choice potentially. He's going to maybe lose a couple of medevacs here. He's going to actually keep all of the unit medevacs alive. Loses an empty one. He's going to unload and stim towards the left side. Main army is coming in right now for a rescue mission. I have a feeling they might just be a little bit too late. They will be a little bit too late. We have a bunch of Templar here as well. Can always zone storm over here, which would be nice. Oop, there comes a Marine forward. That was going to be a ghost for an EMP, but no. Quite the contrary. Blinks in forward. How many do we have here? We have a bunch of Templar. 6 Templar. 6 Templar indeed. Okay, here we go. Vikings actually being targeted down. But the Colossi number is already quite low. He goes for a land next to the Colossus. I felt like this was worse than a Manor Mule. He just landed Vikings to kill Colossi. I've seen a lot of things, but that one was completely new to me. So Clem's going to pick up game number 2. Alright, our third game is going to be played here on Winter Madness. Now, what has been real madness is that it's been snowing again in the Netherlands. I hadn't seen snow in the Netherlands in, I don't know, like years. Freaking a long time. It was a fat layer of snow. I thought, alright, that was snow. And then it started snowing again last night as well, on top of the already pre-existing layer of snow. So it's double layered now. And everyone knows that double layered snow is even better than single layer snow. Why does he do this? Stop it! He's not impressing me. It's because you need to wait a little bit for the Nexus to finish. That's why he does it. It just bothers me when they... Just let them sit over here for a bit or something. And not the weird moving back and forth. You know, noise. It's annoying. Oh, Clem is actually playing the exact same build. So it's going to be a Cyclone Rush. Cyclone Rush into 2 barracks. And then eventually a 3rd barracks. Now, there's a couple of different follow-ups you can play with this. So far, we've only seen one. Look at his SCV. He's not even going to get hit a single time, is he? God, that's so freaking annoying. Oh, I think that's the end of the adept, no? You know, I didn't even know that the Cyclone lock-on switched to where the adept went. I guess it's the same with Blink. If you were still in Cyclone lock-on range, then the lock-on remains. You know, it's like you didn't even move anywhere else, which is weird because the lock-on seems like, you know, you're locking your rocket or whatever it is, like your little thing onto the unit. And if it were to move very quickly, you'd reckon you'd need a new lock-on. Like even, like if it blinks behind you, like how is it possible that with this lock-on all of a sudden you turn around? Maybe it's like heat. You know, it's like a heat searching lock-on. I don't know how it works. I always feel like this type of lore is kind of under-explained in the StarCraft 2 canon. I'm gonna get an eBay here. It's gonna be just 3 racks. Fast starport with this as well. Look at this, man. This actually hits like a truck. It really hits quite fast. I'm surprised how good this is. I really like this build because it's so brain dead. Like, what has Clem really done here so far? He built a Cyclone. He's really safe. He's gonna follow this up with a really quick starport. I do wonder if he maybe wants a bunker in the mix. I was thinking about this in the previous game as well. It's like, it feels like you could take some serious damage if you don't have a bunker, but maybe Clem just doesn't care. Takes his 4th gas. Gonna start popping out some medevacs at this point. 0 tanks here. Don't forget about that. 0. None. Nada. Nilch. And as the Stalkers now move across, we're gonna be ready for this. We get a 4 Stalker warp, and this is 4-gate blink. A little bit more committed than what we saw previously. 11 Stalkers show up. How many are gonna get out is the real question. Still not quite done yet. We get a full-on pickup here. 2 Marines have fallen. 1 Marauder has gone down as well. 1 Stalker. 2 Stalkers go down. Stim finishes up as well. There's a 3rd Stalker going down. But 7 Marines and a Marauder also have died. This is full commitment here to the play. That's kind of wild. Stim runs out. 4 more Stalkers come in. Charge starts behind it, as well as a Robo Bay. I think both plays there are correct. Both the Charge and the Robo Bay, I think. I can make a pretty decent case for both of them. Marauder count is at 5. Medevac count at 2. With the help of a high ground, maybe we can make something happen. We get another Stim. 2 Stalkers explode at the same time. 3rd Stalker explodes. 4, no. 4, yes. 5, no. Look at these 2 guys. They're really freaking low. Gonna get 1 more Stim and 1 more Stalker. 82 supply to 72. 9 Stalkers have gone down in the end. That is honestly quite serious damage. I think Clem probably just spotted that observer. I wonder if he's gonna try and scan it. 3rd CC comes out. +1 is also done. Like, there's a really quick eBay upgrade with this. I mean, this is going awful here right now for Classic. Classic in a world of trouble. Classic in a world of trouble. Clem is gonna run around, and he is looking for free pickups here. He is looking to see if he can find something. 2 Marines and Marauder show up. Double Mines not quite in position to deal with this drop as he moves a little. I think a Viking might be the next thing that we're going to build here. Like, just a single Viking I think would be useful already. Stalkers are going to go back in after all. Here we go. A couple more SCVs potentially falling. It's going to be 1. It's going to be 2. No, it's not going to be 2. Stalker has to blink back as well. Oh, 1 Stalker goes down. Marine also falls, but it's 1 SCV and a Marine for a Stalker. I think Clem is going to be okay with this. This is 30 Cs finishing up. Barracks 4 and 5 halfway done as well. on the way to a fourth is classic. Clem sees it, and I think this might be the trigger that he needed. Like, he didn't want to move out before he saw the fourth base. Now he sees the army, he's like, man, that's weak as hell. It's gonna be a Colossus, but it's not gonna have thermal lance. So this actually does feel weak as hell. Ooh, Prism scouts this. Marauder taking a decent beating here as well. Medvic's taking a lot of damage. Weird blink forward. Not a good one. Just a weird one. Full stim though gets activated, which is obviously a blunder here out of Clem. Feels like his push got stopped by these two stalkers in the prism. Double forge is now on the way. Let's not forget about that. It's actually kind of important to have upgrades at some point, and right now it doesn't feel like Classic has really been focusing on that. It's going to be down 2 upgrades against a very high Marauder count, which is just going to make it extremely uncomfortable for him to really do anything. Extremely uncomfortable. Pylon comes down. Okay, stim in forward. It's not such a big army, is it? Okay, here comes the rest of the force. Classic actually has a decent amount of units here. Mine is gonna connect. The Viking count is only at 2, now at 3. Soon to be at 4. And then perhaps after 5. Single medevac's gonna get sent out. What are we doing with this? What are we doing with this? Also build a Liberator. I'm not sure what this Lib is for though. I bet it's gonna be for some harassment. But it just gets spotted now, and like there is 0 chance this does anything. I don't understand this. What is this? Is there a trick that I'm not familiar with? Can you... What was that? Oh! The medevac is for the vision!
Our SCVs are under attack. Mineral field depleted.
What the hell? Oh, so he can shoot it. That is really freaking smart. That is a serious investment, and a Stargate needs to be built right now. Look at this! A fort base not mining. There's 4 patches there. Oh my god, this is genius! I thought he made a blunder. I thought he made an oopsie. He didn't. Does he? Can you blink here and kill this? No way. Oh my god, this spot is completely busted. What in the ever-living hell? How did I not know about this? Clem, the beast. Was the medevac really necessary though? I guess it is. Oh my god. That lip positioning is legit disgusting. 6 patches being denied. This needs to be fixed. This actually just needs to be fixed. Or I guess take this as your 4th. Like, this is not a viable fort base. You can't just blindly have a Stargate ready every single game the moment you want to take a fort. It is too expensive. You do not have that type of cash laying around. What a ridiculous setup. I guess you could also leave some stalkers, like kind of pre-approved over there. Oh, that is disgusting. That is so disgusting. What a nasty strategy. Good lord. I think Classic's still in it, but that was kind of painful. It felt like he lost a bit of his schwung there, you know, his oomph, his I'm ready to take you out vibe. It felt like he had before, where he was kind of starting to move onto the map. Despite his not brilliant early game, it feels like Classic has moved into a decent situation, where he's adding in some disruptors into the mix. He's getting good upgrades as well. Let's not forget he was down 2 upgrades earlier. It was 1-1 versus 0-0. Now he's moving into 2-2 versus 2-2, so he's properly caught up. Command centers are starting to worry me a little bit, though, as 7 Marines, 6 Marines make their way towards the north, are eventually gonna get caught. And this is, by the way, just Clem creating a better army for himself, right? This is not Clem saying, oh no, 6 Marines, I really wanted to harass with them. No, he doesn't care. The only thing Clem really cares about in this moment is creating an army that consists of as many ghosts as humanly possible, high Marauder counts, low Marine counts. You want to have a couple of Marines in there, but look at that. 27 Marauders, 17 Marines, 3 ghosts. Purification Nova moves in forward. 4 Disruptors are out. Prism managed to actually get into the main base. We don't have a Dark Shrine here, but 14 Gateways is of course a pretty serious threat. The Viking gets split off. Disruptor's moving in neatly for some zoning action. 2 Purification Novas get used. I think with a split army here, we have a decent shot at just killing this, no? I think we do. Like, you split it in 2 parts, you run in. And good luck, my dear friend. EMPs do need to hit. There we go. EMP number 1 lands. EMP number 2 lands in a big way as well. Marauders are splitting back against the Disruptor shots. Vikings dealing with the Colossus at a very high pace. And Clem is gonna be victorious in this fight. Classic completely getting pushed back. If a couple more Disruptors here could fall, it would be a huge deal. There we go. Disruptors going down. Colossus falls as well. Every single tech unit here is being blasted. Zealot reinforcements coming in quick though. And a lot of Clem supply right now is in those medevacs, is in the Vikings. And I guess a bunch as well in the barracks. So he needs to be careful. But yeah, Clem's gonna stick to, what is it, 150 supply. Classic is gonna go back up to 150-ish as well soon. Of course, with the triple robo, the 14 gateways, reproduction is not gonna be much of an issue as he takes a forward base here. This potentially could have been Clem's 5th or 6th. I guess the 5th is gonna be towards the left. And then the 6th would have been this one. But Classic says, no, I don't think so. Five Stalker Warpins gonna deal with this medevac. No problemo. There you go. Maybe 3 workers might fall, but... Or maybe 1 worker and a Stalker, also completely fine. This base is up. We have a fleet beacon behind this. 0 upgrades though for the air. 0 upgrades for the air, which is often the issue. It's just the lack of... Like, Terran's already doing air upgrades. They freaking love air. Like, they love ship weapons. Because they know how big it is. If you get Liberators with +2, that is a huge deal. If you get Vikings with ship weapons against Colossus, that is great. So they always have a purpose. But for TOS players, it doesn't feel as natural to get those air weapon upgrades. But I think it is a necessity at some point. Fleet Beacon has finished up right now. This is an extraordinarily weak army, by the way. May I say so? Yes, I may. 7 Vikings in the sky. 3 more on the way. What was the ghost count? Only 2. Ghost count is low. Would much prefer seeing that number grow a little bit higher. Advanced ballistics coming in right now. Here comes a flank. Disruptor's gonna get sniped. Oh no. Ooh, Ghost actually gets taken out as well. Vikings end up landing. I feel like this fight went way better for Classic than it ever should have. I'm not saying Classic is winning this game, but this felt almost okay. We're now gonna get with a flank. Oh, flank from the back. Ooh, kiting is gonna be made a lot harder as a result of that. It's going to go back into this tiny little choke between the 2 ice rocks. The ghost count was really quite low. I think it was like 3 or 4 or so. I feel like that fight didn't go so well for Clem. Reavers lost this super close. And look how many bases Classic has over here. 1, 2, 3. A lot. Meanwhile, we have another little fight coming in over here. This is just pure gateway units. This should not look like this. This really shouldn't look like this. As a Disruptor shot comes in. Oh, he's not gonna get the snipe. Big Purification Novas here connecting with the Terran army. The Classic is actually just overrunning Clem right now. In Classic, we knew he was going to have fantastic eco. That is not a surprise. The surprise here is that he's winning battles. Resource lost in favor of a Protoss player. This is not a thing. This is not something that we actually see in this phase of the game usually. So another Zealot Warping comes in. They were on 16 gateways. We have an attack over here. Clem overextending with his army. Not microing well enough, I think. Not having enough ghosts there initially. And still getting destroyed by what was a pure gateway force. This should theoretically just be impossible. Like, it actually should just be impossible. Like, this doesn't happen. It doesn't happen at late game Terran starts trading worse unless there's Tempest out. With Tempest I could see it, but anything else, Ghost Viking is the king. It reigns supreme. Another attack coming in right now. Liberator's gonna get taken out. SCV is also falling at a high pace as we get another Purification Nova in here. Zealots are entering the choke. Okay, we're gonna hit the Disruptor at least. So on the retreat, we're gonna get a Disruptor. Yeah, resource loss is already moving a bit further in Clem's favor, despite being down 50 supply, which that's how it should be. Like, Zealot Stalker should not be a composition that you can actually play, even if you supplement it with Disruptors. This is not your late game comp. Like, what the hell is this? Like, he blocked his own Nexus. Oh no. Oh no. He's gonna recall towards the other side, and this base is gonna be toast right now. There we go, one Liberator will end up falling. Really nice play out of Classic. Doesn't actually get the base though, which would have made this play significantly nicer. Triple Colossus on the way as well. Disruptor shots coming out. Can we still get this command center? Yes, we can. This fight was honestly quite horrific though for Classic. Classic losing so much freaking supply. If this base doesn't end up falling, which I think it might anyway. Yeah, there we go. Stalkers are gonna kill it. But that was definitely something. That was definitely a fight and a half. At the same time, though, Zealot's now entering the third base. We're 16, don't forget. 16 gateways. 32 supply. Warped in a second. 3 Robos. 3 Colossus. 3 Disruptors on the way. Stalkers moving towards the other side. This is just a fresh warp in again, as this planetary is gonna get sniped over. Here we have a force field available. It's not gonna be used. Oh my god, he leaves it alive. A huge blunder here out of Classic. Probably not impactful enough, but a blunder nonetheless. Colossus now coming out. Vikings being added into the mix again. We have 14 Medifex, by the way, all of them with Caduceus Reactor as well. So 14 does seem like a bit of overkill if you only have, what is it, 16 Marauders, 3 Marines and 6 Ghosts. 6 Lips, wanna probably start setting up soon as well. As, I mean, this base is gonna die anyway. It doesn't even matter. Classic is so rich. I started counting his bases earlier, but I stopped because there were too many. I think the number is 10 actually. I think he has like 10 bases. Clem, well, Clem doesn't. Clem's never gotten more than half of that. As Classic is gonna take this game here on Winter Madness in the snow. I'm gonna go out in the snow as well, make some angels. Maybe a snowman. Sadly, no carrots here, but I'm gonna try my best either way. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.